Regina drives along the coast. She activates Super Cruise and puts on a pair of gray sunglasses.
Gray? I don't think so. If you want to be bold, you have to go off script.
Experience the all-electric Cadillac.
So the first story, and I'll make this really, really quick because you pretty much already get the gist of this whole issue. It says Tesla stands to earn billions of dollars a year by opening U.S. charging stations to drivers of Ford and other EVs. So it says Tesla on Thursday opened up its superchargers to drivers of Ford Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning electric vehicles. Tesla struck similar partnerships with General Motors and other automakers in North America. That includes moi with my Cadillac. Auto Forecast Solutions says Tesla could generate $6 billion to $12 billion in annual charging revenue by 2030 by opening its charging stations to drivers of non-Tesla EVs. Okay, so it says as of Thursday, owners of Ford electric vehicles, the Mach-E Mustang and the F-150 Lightning in North America finally have the ability to power up using Tesla superchargers. Ford CEO Jim Farley wrote in a post on LinkedIn that the charging partnership, which involves use of fast charging adapters, should improve the EV ownership experience for Ford EV drivers, because as of now, the only thing you could really use is Electrify America or EV Go. And those are kind of lackluster depending upon where you are. Tesla has forged a similar agreement with General Motors, which was announced in June, giving GM customers access to more than 12,000 Tesla fast chargers. CEO Mara Barra said at the time that her company expected to save up to $400 million of a planned investment in building out EV charging stations. Okay. The partnerships mark a strategy shift for Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who for years touted the exclusivity of Tesla's charging network and his company's ability to build reliable charging locations that would keep customers from sitting in long lines. Becoming the standard charging has required Tesla to invest heavily in technical and business development. But Tesla has plenty to gain from working with others. Sam Fiorani, vice president for global forecasting at Auto Forecast Solutions, said these efforts should eventually yield huge financial benefits for Tesla. So basically, there you have it for the most part. I'll leave you the link. You can read the rest of this yourself. But the bottom line is it's started. I was saying this for like the last 2 years, and this was always one of the reasons why I said, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep on buying Tesla stock and holding, simply because of the fact that this Tesla network is going to make them a lot of money. Now, I personally don't know if they charge a fee for a non-Tesla owner to charge at these stations. If they don't currently charge a small fee or something for non-Teslas, chances are they're going to end up charging a fee for non-Teslas. Because the way I see it, I think Tesla owners are going to start getting upset by the fact that they have to park next to non-Teslas in order to charge their cars. I think they're going to be upset because the envy and the jealousy is going to set in. You're going to have people with Rolls-Royce Spectres and Mercedes EQSs and BMW iX, and you're going to have all these non-Teslas parked at these superchargers eventually. And I personally think that the Tesla owners are going to be upset about it. That's my personal belief. Look at this guy in front of me. He's got a CTS CT4 Blackwing. I don't know why they dropped the S out of it, but every time I think of the CTS5 or the CTS4, it's like, I always forget to say it's not, S. It's like they say CT4, CT5. But anyway, that's a Blackwing right there. So I'm in here, just stuck in traffic as usual. But I've got the car handle in it, so we got the Super Cruise going. So basically, it's like you just get in the left lane and you just turn on Super Cruise and you just let it just go. And it just does. It's not going to change lanes by itself, because as far as it's concerned, the left lane is the fastest. And for the most part, there's usually not anybody in the left lane driving slower than you. So that's basically it. It's nice and comfortable. In fact, wait, let me move up. I don't want this Chevy jumping in front of me. Yeah, this is daily thing. This daily commute. Daily thing. I got a Chrysler Pacifica minivan right behind me. Another one of these Tesla Model Ys, man. They must have sold a bazillion of those things. It's like I see that car like constantly. Like I've never seen a car with that kind of market penetration before. I think the only things that come close is the Camry and maybe the Toyota Corolla, possibly the Honda Accord. That's some serious market penetration. This traffic is... Oh, what the fuck? Who are you blowing at? Who's blowing at who? I don't even know. Oh, this guy's got paint work all over his car. He's got the stripes and everything. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, this traffic sucks. A Chevy Blazer. See this guy right here? He's got a 300 SRT8 from 2006 or possibly 2007. I haven't seen one of those in a little bit. Most of those things are off the road now. Like they've just gotten really old. And some of them don't run no more unless you've taken really good care of them. And it's funny because I had that car, but I had the a Quicksilver steel. Like I always wanted that color instead. I wanted the bright silver metallic, but I never could get it. Like the dealer that I saw had the silver steel, but he never had that color, and I wanted that color in the worst way. In fact, when I went and bought the 2012, I wanted that color, but I ended up getting black. You know, it happens. That's what it is. It's like a lot of times I shop right off of the dealer lot and take what they have on the lot if, you know, it's at a decent price or whatever. Yeah, so here we go. Friday traffic. So... This is like everything that you got to deal with when you're in New York City. This is what you got to deal with. It's just everybody trying to escape the city, everybody trying to get back into Long Island. And this is everybody. Everybody headed towards the Southern State Parkway or the Cross Island, and you just got to deal with it. So it really helps to have you know, auto drive and, you know, just to be comfortable. Because you just be sitting for so long. It just gets so boring. So ridiculously boring. So it's like, yeah, I'll just get right here into this middle lane. I'll get behind the Jeep. No big deal. And then I'll just drop on my... oh, I can't use Super Cruise right now because there's no lines. See, that's the one downside. If the car can't see any lines because our roads are shit, then... It can't drive itself unless it can actually see the lines. Now you can use the adaptive cruise control, but I prefer it be able to steer itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop into the left lane. If this guy, you know, let me right there drop into the left lane, and now you have the yellow line and pieces of the white line, but it probably still won't work. So I'll just wait until we can see a little bit of white line. If the traffic persists like this. Yeah, because these roads are terrible. These roads are just horrible. It's like you can't do anything with this shit. Look at these roads. So I was reading, first of all, the tech stocks that I picked up pretty much up. AMD, what is it called? TSM. All of these things are like all-time highs now. AMD is basically like $200. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, to the car, I see the icon went. It came and went. So yeah, the roads still suck. So I gotta wait for the lines to come back. Once we see lines, we're good. I'm trying to figure out, why is the traffic so fucking bad? Because it's like I don't see any car accidents. So what's going on? It's like it doesn't make any sense. All right, so I'm gonna just throw on adaptive cruise control for right now because I'm tired of having to do this myself. So for right now, I just have to steer until I can get more of these white lines, and then I'm okay. This is ridiculous. This traffic just sucks. Boy. Yep, I'm counting down to Bali, counting down to Singapore. Look at this guy. This guy's got the, what has he got? Is it an Airbus or a Boeing? Gotta see his tail. Oh, that's just cargo. Nobody cares. Okay. I just don't understand this. Like, I'm trying to understand. You're gonna have to show me what's going on here. Like, I don't understand. Is it a broken car, or it doesn't make any sense? Like, there's nobody. It doesn't look like there's any accidents. So what's going on? All right, so I'm gonna hit auto drive right now and have the car just steer itself. So this way I ain't gotta do it because I'm tired. I'm bored. Bored sitting in this traffic. Just let the car deal with it. Look at this guy with this ID4. You see that? This electric car. I heard those aren't selling though. Yeah, don't worry. They're gonna make their money. Because my belief is, at this point, I think what they're doing is they're proliferating electric cars, and they're doing it by crashing the prices. And most people would not understand that, but actually it makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. If you flood the market with these things, then all that means is that you're ultimately going to take on more and more and more customers. So yeah, the automakers, they're going to make some losses. They're going to take a couple of losses, but the thing about it is, for every loss they take, they're still gaining customers. So you think about it, Tesla's Model 3, the Highland, okay, so now I see it. There's construction and you have to be in the left lane. But yeah, Tesla's Model 3 Highland, a lot of people are ditching their old Model 3 to get the Highland. So that means you're going to have a lot of old Model 3s on the market. And guess what that means? All of these high school kids who are currently going into college, or all these college kids, they're not going to be able to afford high prices on most cars. But what they will be able to afford is an EV that gets really good gas mileage, because this way they're not going to have to pay for gas, for one. And then on top of that, the car will be depreciated considerably. Because, a Model 3, the used car prices for a Model 3 is in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. So they're basically proliferating these things. And they're going to put lots and lots and lots of electric cars on the market, low end and middle end. Not really too many high ends, but you're going to have a lot of low end electric cars on the market. And that's going to be really good for the company, because you're just gaining new customers that normally otherwise would have went to a gas vehicle. Unfortunately, they can't afford what they want. I mean, you think about cars like this, the X6, the X5, you can't afford that shit. $80,000, $70,000, you can't afford those cars. Not when you're a college student, you're racked with debt. You can't afford that stuff. Look at this guy. Yeah, but it is what it is. They'll find out the hard way. Yeah, see, that's it. You mean that one construction vehicle got the traffic all messed up? That's ridiculous. And now it's like smooth sailing, I think. Yeah, look at this right here. So we got a SRT Jeep, 2017 or 2018. But then the interesting thing to me is who's driving it. Now, first of all, we got the Deputy Nassau County Sheriff right here. How you doing? Okay, so let him just go by. Thank you. And what does it say? DeMello DeLory? I don't know. Yo, look who's driving this. I tell you, that OnlyFans must be treating people real well. That OnlyFans must be treating people real well. That girl driving that Jeep, she taking care of it too. She driving it nice and soft and comfy. Right in the middle of the road, she got the cops behind her, and she's driving it nice and slow, taking it nice and easy. So here we are on another Friday. And I'm finishing up my charge. In fact, I'm at 97%. I'm waiting until we hit 307 miles. So basically, I probably have another 10 minutes to go. But I just came back from doing some shopping. I had a nice leisurely lunch. I had a nice leisurely shop. And we did pretty good. Let's see. It says the total time was 1 hour and 28 minutes. So yeah, that's 1 hour and 28 minutes. And time just passed by. And I took my sweet time. In fact, I was watching the trial of Fannie Willis, I believe. And I was just sitting there and I was just watching the trial and I was just chilling and relaxing and unwinding. And basically just looking at stock information, just sitting there chilling, looking at stocks and everything. So now I guess the question of the week is, do you think Tesla owners are ready to see people like us, non-Tesla owners, like this guy right here? As you can see, he has a TLC Lyric. And the reason why you're going to see lots and lots of Lyrics at EV Go stations is because Cadillac was offering you an option between having a charger installed in your house or having EV Go credits for 2 years. So basically, I have 2 years free charging. So what I basically do is at the weekend, I come and charge up for the weekend. I usually do a lot of driving over the weekend. And then I come back and maybe charge on Sunday night or say Monday. So basically, I'm driving for 100% free. I'm not paying anything for this energy right now. And that's just what it is. So some people might argue, oh yeah, well, you're losing an hour and 30 minutes. It's like, well, here's a question. And let me ask you this question. If somebody were willing to give you free gas every single time you went to the gas station, would you be willing to wait an hour and 30 minutes? Now, keep in mind, when I pulled in here, you didn't really see it, but when I pulled in here, there was nobody else in the station. And I pulled right in, started plugging in, and then I went over and I had my lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it. And then after that, I went over and I did some shopping at the grocery store. So I'm all finished. As soon as this thing's done, I'm done and I'm out of here. But I don't think an hour and 30 minutes is really that bad, considering I'm not paying to charge my car. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And it all depends. It's like you basically, when you have an electric vehicle, you basically decide how you're going to make that electric vehicle fit into your lifestyle. Now, Tesla owners have already basically figured it out. But now the question that has to be asked is, since Tesla has opened up their Supercharger network, how exactly are these Tesla owners going to feel when now you've got regular people like me pulling up and getting charges off the Tesla Superchargers here? Now, this is a version 3, and the newer models are called version 4. The newer models actually have like a credit card terminal and stuff on them. But this only has NACS, but the version 4 is going to have NACS and CCS. So they're going to have 2 plugs. But these, because Tesla has plug and charge, these are designed specifically so that all you actually have to do is just plug in and charge, and that's it. So, you know, I think personally, I think Tesla owners, I mean, you know, some of them may not ever be really impacted by it because these Tesla Superchargers are everywhere. But I think a lot of Tesla owners may end up pissed off. Because the thing about it is, it's not so much that, you know, they're going to end up having to sit next to other cars that aren't Teslas. But in that amount of time, some of them, you know, they may pull up to these chargers, and they may see like Mercedes EQS and BMW iX, and they may see other versions of electric cars, and they may get pissed off. They may look inside and they be like, holy shit, your interior is nice and mine's not. Oh, you've got heated, cooled massage seats? Oh, I don't. I wish I did. Oh, well, your interior has heated armrests? Oh man, my Tesla doesn't have that. Oh, you've got more than just a single screen in order to control shit? Oh man, my car doesn't have that. So I guess you see my point. So you see, like, even right now, this guy was here before me. He should be finished right now. He and I have the exact same battery. He should be done. But he'll probably be pulling out of here about the same exact time I pull out of here, because it looks like he's just resting or something. I don't know. But he should be done because he was here before me. And if I'm at 97 and he was here before me, he's got to be at 98 or 99 by now, because these cars are basically the same. You know, these are DC fast chargers, so they charge at the same rate. Now, I have the 19 kilowatt charger option, but that's only an AC charger option. That's not a DC charger option. That's for if you're charging at home and you have like 100 watt fuse or so, 100 amp fuse, and you have a 19 kilowatt charger that can deliver like the fastest level 2 speeds. I have it, but I don't know if he does. And considering his car doesn't look like a Sport 3 or a Luxury 3, it looks like a Sport 2 or a Luxury 2, chances are he wouldn't have it anyway, because that was like an extra $1,400 as an option, and it doesn't look like he got it. But that said, bottom line is he should be done in a minute. But again, I'm wondering how these Tesla owners are going to feel when they're pulling up to all types of other makes and models. But here they are, they got Tesla Y, they got Tesla 3, and their cars all look alike, and the insides suck. And I just wonder how they're going to feel about that. Now, as you know, I've been talking about this for a long time. I knew Tesla was going to be opening up their Supercharger network for like the last 3 years. And now we've reached that point. They've started sending out the adapters. Ford gave Lightning owners the adapter, and I'm pretty sure they probably sent it to Mach-E Mustang owners. So now they've got their adapters. So it's coming. I mean, by the end of this year, I may be pulling up to this charger. I may be seeing Mercedes and BMWs and Audis and stuff here in addition to these Teslas. Now, I think what's going to hit the fan, and this is just a guess, but I think it may hit the fan when suddenly you've got a bunch of other EVs charging, and then the Tesla owners are forced to stay in a line and wait for these other EVs to charge. And the thing you got to remember is these Model Ys, Model 3s, these things have smaller batteries than my car. This car has a 102 kilowatt battery. That car right there is the same. That has a 102 kilowatt hour battery. Now, if you have a Hummer EV, that's 212 kilowatts. If you have a, what is it called? A Cadillac Escalade, that's 200 kilowatt hour batteries. So those things take twice as long to recharge as my car does. So how are these Tesla owners going to feel when these rich ass Hummer and Escalade buyers who bought cars that cost more than a Tesla Plaid? Because that new Escalade IQ, they're saying that thing is like $175,000. That's what they're saying as tested. But the bottom line is, how are they going to feel when they're pulling up, they're trying to charge, and then all of a sudden they got to wait behind somebody like me who's got a battery much, 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 much bigger than their car? Like, I don't think they're going to be too happy about that shit. Yeah, so only time will tell. So let's just go right in here and take a look at the power reading. Okay, so it's 306. So I'm basically done right now. Usually I let it go to 307, but basically it's at 100% right now. So I can pretty much, I could wait. I mean, and that's the thing, see, that's the crazy thing about it. Like, you're like, oh yeah, well, you got to wait there for it to, oh, there it is. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, you got to wait for the thing to charge. And I'm like, yo, I don't care. It's like the fucking energy is fucking free. I can drive like a maniac and I don't have to pay for the next 2 fucking years. 2 years. I got 2 years. Think about that. Could you imagine if you had free gas for 2 fucking years? I mean, that's just awesome. That's just awesome. 2 years. For the whole month of February, I didn't charge at home a single time. For the entire month of February. I got 2 years. 2 years of free charging. 2 years. So the thing about it is, it's like, shit, I could come here all the time. And I gotta say, I don't think that they really planned that out too well. When they gave us 2 years charging, I don't think they planned that out well. I think they really didn't think that through. Either that or EVgo was trying to get people to invest in its stock, and they put their cart before the horse. So you know what I'm gonna do? So guys, I have a very simple question for you. How do you think Tesla owners are gonna feel when all of a sudden their Tesla superchargers are flooded with cars that aren't Teslas, and there's nothing they could do about it because all of us have the adapter for Tesla? Simple question. What do you think? Inside EVs had this story run at 12 o'clock today. And this is another issue that I don't think they've thought much of, but I've talked about it when I've showed you the videos of people charging at these Tesla superchargers. See, the problem is the Tesla supercharger is basically a large rectangle, and it's not very wide, and the cable that they attach to these things is not very long. Now, Teslas typically all have to back in to a park because their charger is located on the rear of the driver's side, right? The vast majority of electric vehicles that I've seen thus far, including my own, have the charger on the front driver's side. So the problem with Tesla, in my opinion, right now, is that they have had to build these superchargers and they've had to offset them from the parking spaces in order to accommodate the fact that you're reaching around to the driver's side. So that means that now you're going to have some issues, even with the people who have adapters, you're going to have some issues because if they have charging ports on the driver's, behind the driver's fender, in the front of the car, you think about it like this. All of the Teslas have to back in and park to charge. All of these other the non-Tesla EVs, they're going to have to drive in facing forward. So right there, you've got a difference in how these vehicles are going to work with these chargers. Now, it's not a very big deal. However, if you have some of these vehicles that have their chargers in odd places, it may cause a problem because the parking spots had to be offset in the first place. So it may cause an issue. Now, you've noticed that the charger that I go to, typically that has the EVgo and it has the Tesla, usually it's never full, for one. So getting in there, parking at the very end is not really that much of a problem. The problem comes when you have to park in the center or you have to park near the center, and then you've got these other people with these Teslas there. And you think about it, some of these vehicles are trucks. Some of these vehicles are, big, like the Hummer. And I think they're going to have some issues, and they're going to have to rethink possibly the spacing for the Tesla superchargers, and they're also going to have to rethink how they're doing these parking spots, because it's one thing you've got some of the cars, backed in, but now you're going to have these other cars who have to drive in head first. So it says, Tesla says it's okay to double park at supercharger stalls in a non-Tesla. The cables at V3 superchargers are so short that Tesla's app is recommending non-Tesla vehicles take up multiple stalls to charge. This is something that, like when I say that the Tesla owners are going to get pissed off real quick, as it said in the other article, Elon Musk was saying, Tesla superchargers are exclusive. And for the most part, they are because, they have plug and charge. And, they don't require any credit card payments right then and there because you're already signed into the Tesla app. And now the version 4 superchargers, they're going to have two cables. They're going to have the cable for NACS and they're going to have the cable for CCS. Now, my thinking is what they really should do is make sure that they make that CCS cable a lot longer. Like you notice that the EVgo charger that I go to, they have a very long CCS combo charger, and it's never been a problem for me. to use either one, depending upon how I'm parked. Both of those cables are long enough to accommodate my car, and I have a pretty long, big car, and I've never had a problem. But Tesla, they're going to have to rethink the length of these cables. And another problem is that in some of these shitty states, like, Detroit and some of these other places where, the Democrats run it and fucking criminals are running wild, they've been cutting the cables and stealing the fucking wire. They've been stealing the cables because they have copper wire in them. And I could look that story up and show that story as proof that this is true. But the bottom line is, I saw this on the news, and that's one of the reasons why me personally, I'm not comfortable driving into certain states. That's why I prefer to fly everywhere. Because the thing about it is, these people, these goddamn Democrat blue states are so off the hook until these people are literally like stealing anything that's not tied down. And I mean, they're going into houses, stealing copper pipes. And now these assholes are stealing the wires out of the damn chargers. It's just absolutely incredible. See, what I think at this point, we need judges. Like, we need Judge Dredd. And, you just give them the power, judge, jury, and executioner. You have them go out there and protect these charging stations. I'm sick and tired of these people. But anyway, let's see. It says there's 15,000 new DC fast chargers available in the blink of an eye since the infrastructure was already built out for Tesla's existing customers. So it was inevitable. I mean, Tesla had the chargers, and now all of the EV makers are switching to NACS. And on top of that, Tesla's opening it up so that now everybody can use Tesla superchargers. So what really needs to happen, I'd hate to say that I want to see GM and Ford build more Tesla superchargers. I think what they should just do is take that design and maybe change the color of it or something. And even, I don't care if they call it Electrify America or EVgo or something. That's always been my biggest problem, and that's most people's problem with electric vehicles. It's just that they don't feel that the infrastructure is mature. So here you are now. You can charge at any of these Tesla superchargers as long as you have the adapter. But my thinking is, I think America in and of itself needs to have its own independent charger that doesn't say Tesla on it. And I mean, you got Electrify America, but I'd like to see GM and Ford and even Chrysler, because they're making electric vehicles and they're introducing the Wagoneer S and the Recon soon. The way I see it is, like, the big three, they all need to collaborate on this. See, it's funny, I'm hearing that the Chinese, they got like $14,000 EVs that they're trying to send over here. It's like, yo, China, we don't need fucking more EVs. What we need is more chargers. And since you've got all those people over there at slave labor, you could have them build chargers and you could ship them over here in mass. And we have like lots and lots and lots of chargers. So then the problem is going to be, well, we're going to get we're going to get electricity. We're going to get extra electricity. Well, you can, make, solar panels, nuclear reactors, whatever you want. But the bottom line is, it's like, that's what we really need. We need to build up this infrastructure faster, and we need to make sure that it's able to sustain itself. Like, for instance, they may have to start putting solar canopies over most of these parking lots. Like, for instance, I hate going into most of these parking lots during the summer. They're hot. So, you may have to do like solar canopies that can withstand like, the wind and the snow and the ice and all that. And, that would be good. And they'd be able to back themselves up. They'd be able to add power back to the grid. So I'd like to see that. So it says, let's back up a second to talk about Tesla superchargers. Originally, the North American charging standard was simply known as the Tesla Charger. Only Tesla's vehicles came equipped with NACS for both home and DC fast charging. Other vehicles use the combined charging system or the now antiquated CHAD and MO standard. I think right now the only thing that uses that is like the Nissan Leaf, I think. Tesla recently began the process to standardize NACS, which led to a sweeping industry-wide adoption of the charger port in just a few months. It's actually insane to think about how fast the industry moved to a new standard. That typically takes years, and that charge was led by Ford. Because Tesla's network was originally designed for Teslas, the automaker was able to maximize its cost savings by ensuring designs worked just well enough for its own vehicles. That included a short cable length that was designed to line up with Tesla's charger ports, always located in a reflector housing on the driver's side rear tail lamp. That's now a problem for non-Tesla owners. For example, Ford's F-150 Lightning and Mustang's Mach-E have the charger inlet positioned near the front wheel of the driver's door, just like my car. The supercharger cable is too short to reach the front of the vehicle when it's backed in, and when the car pulls in, the short port is then located on the opposite side of the vehicle. This means that the only way for the vehicle to charge is to double park and block another charging stall. So it doesn't necessarily... Oh, fuck. Look at these pictures. Oh, my God. Wait, when they said double park, I didn't know they meant this. So they're saying that this is the way it works with Teslas right here in this picture. And now they're saying that they want you to park across the freaking thing like that. That's not what I was thinking. When you said double park, I thought you would mean that you're going to park across the line. But that's not what this is. This is parking freaking perpendicular. Like, yo, the Tesla, man, these Tesla owners are going to be pissed off, boy. The first time that they come to one of these charges and they see like a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce or some shit parked across their charges, man, that's going to start some fights. That is going to start some fights right there. It's important to note that Tesla is working to resolve this problem with its new version 4 superchargers. These chargers have longer cables positioned on the outside of the charging unit, which allows the charger to swing to either side of the stall, which makes it possible for non-Tesla EVs to easily plug in. However, as of yesterday, Tesla is still opening new supercharger locations with version 3 superchargers in the U.S. Certain new locations in Europe first? Why the fuck they get it first? These people don't matter. Oh, my God. So anyway, Tesla is also calling on manufacturers to consider standardizing the charge port location on future vehicles. To Tesla's point, this could be useful in cutting down costs and cord clutter at charging stations. Now, non-Tesla owners don't necessarily need to take up multiple charging stalls. At some supercharger locations, utilizing the install or one of Tesla's pull-through style chargers could be a possibility, though not every location is built to accommodate that layout, so it won't work everywhere. And one of the reasons why that absolutely won't work is because some of these vehicles are simply too big. So yeah, they're showing a Ford F-150 Lightning. It looks like they're showing another Lightning. So they're saying, yeah, this is all fucked up. We can't park here. It's got a double park. So it looks like they're showing the CCS adapter, another F-150 Lightning. Yeah, see, it was obvious that the trucks were going to have the biggest problem immediately. That was obvious. My car, I think if I were to like park at the very end, I think I wouldn't have too much of a problem using a Tesla charger. My thing is, I'm not using any Tesla chargers anytime soon, except maybe to test the fact that it works. But other than that, I won't be using those things anytime soon, simply because, I charge for free. I'm not paying Tesla 49 or 69 cents to charge when I don't have to. Right now, I'm getting all my electricity for the next 2 years free. So, bottom line is, it says the supercharger network was once Tesla's sword. One could argue that it helped to catapult the brand above and beyond other EVs at the time, given the vast and reliable charging network. But now, opening up the network could be the axe that chops it down, or at least gets owners thinking about what their next vehicle might be, since Tesla's best selling point will be accessible to just about any brand. And they're right about that because, again, it's like I've been on Microsoft Bing, and they throw all these articles about new EVs and best EVs and all this at me. And the thing about it is I always type the same thing. If I had to buy a budget EV right now, I'd probably end up getting a Model Y. And the reason why is very simple. It's because it's the largest, most spacious, most affordable electric vehicle that you can get. You're talking about under $50,000, and it has access right away to that supercharger network. Even with the Roadster is going to have access to the supercharger network. The Cybertruck has access to the Supertruck network. No matter what Tesla builds, as long as you have access to that supercharger network, you pretty much have a coherent and reliable experience. So Me personally, I don't think right now that anybody who actually has a Tesla and, likes Elon Musk, because you got some people who hate Elon Musk and they call him anti-Semite and they say he hates Ukraine or some shit. Bottom line, and he supports Trump. Let's not forget that he's a Trump supporter. I don't think that anybody who has a Tesla to this day is planning on dumping Tesla. I think that they'll stick with it regardless who's at the superchargers for the most part. Because one thing I've noticed, the Tesla superchargers tend to never be full. Like, the only time they're full is when you're in the ghetto and you go to the malls in the ghetto and there's there's just like one charger. There's like one charger bank there, and you've got all these goddamn taxis lined up to use it. That's the only time I've ever seen those things full. I've gone on road trips to like Rhode Island, and I've stopped at what are those things? Those places where you rest stops, and they've had Tesla banks, and there'd be like 12 banks, and nobody's there, and it was just me, and I'm not even in a Tesla. So the way I see it, it's like, as long as they keep building these things and keep building them better and faster, the version 4 should solve a lot of the problems. But as long as they keep on building these things, the network can just keep on growing and keep on growing. And eventually, you'll probably end up having more superchargers, or you'll probably end up having more public chargers than you have gas stations. Because when you really think about it, there's only but so many gas stations in this country. Chargers can be set up just about anywhere. Like, you could set up a charger right behind your office building. You could set up a charger right behind a school. You could set up a charger right behind a mall. You could set up a charger right behind a movie theater, right behind a Walmart, right behind a Target, right behind a YMCA. You get the point. It could get to the point where you have more chargers than you actually have gas stations. And it probably will get to that point since, as I keep saying, EVs are the future. So the bottom line is, this is where you are. I think that initially, I think a lot of people are going to be upset about this shit. And, for right now, there's not really much you can do about it. But hopefully they hurry up with the version 4 chargers that do have CCS. And eventually everybody's going to switch their charger ports to NACS. So that this is the reason why, me personally, I recommend leasing electric vehicles if you plan on buying one. It's because the technology improves so rapidly. Because if you think about it right now, yeah, the technology in these electric vehicles is really, really awesome. But they're about to start putting AI in all of the computers. So that means that within the next 5 years, you're going to have AI PCs inside your car. And on top of that, all of these cars, as they've just said, they're going to have NACS charging. So how would I feel to get stuck with the obsolete CCS when, in the near future, everybody's going to be on NACS? I wouldn't feel good about that at all. Now, fortunately, there are adapters, and the adapters will probably be ubiquitous for maybe 2 or 3 years. They'll be pushing these adapters on everybody. And that'll probably make them cheaper. They'll probably end up being like between $30 and $50. But the bottom line is, the reason why I recommend leasing these things is because, again, the technology changes way too fast. It's kind of like buying a cell phone. When you buy an iPhone, you basically buy the iPhone knowing that you're going to use it, you're going to love it, you're going to have fun with it. But as soon as that new iPhone comes, you're ready to move on to the new iPhone. Like even me, I've got the iPhone 14. It has 1 terabyte of storage. As soon as they make that 2 terabyte of storage, I'm ready to jump to that. So we're basically buying smartphones on wheels for the most part. So me personally, I can't see financing any of this shit. Like I was telling people, I was like, I don't want to be stuck in a loan for years. Like I don't want to be stuck in a loan for 5 or 6 years. It's like 3 years and then I can do something else. Like I could go from the Lyric to the Escalade, or I could go from the Lyric to the V-Stick or something. Or, you have no idea what they're going to build in the next 2 or 3 years. You just have no idea. So I don't want to be stuck in anything. I want to have the newest and the best technology I can have. I want my car to drive itself. I want my car to massage my ass. I want my car to cool and heat my booty. All that. You know, I don't know what they'll make next. Maybe they'll have something that tickles your balls while you're driving. I have no idea. But if they have an optional ball tickler, I want it. So that's the thing. It's like, why should I get stuck in an old vehicle that doesn't have the optional ball tickler when I could I could get another one and it has the optional ball tickler? You see what I'm saying? It's like there's no point in financing this stuff. It really makes more sense to lease. The technology rapidly improves and it changes in ways that you can't even imagine because they're going to be making shit like they're going to be putting 4 motors in these fucking cars. Like my car has dual motors. The Tesla Plaid has tri-motors, it's got 3. And then you got the Rivian that got 4. And that shit is fast as hell. Like I made a video driving it. I want that. So, I'm not going to get stuck in the fucking dual motor if I can get the quad motor when the quad motor comes out. So that's all I'm saying. So that said, I know there's a lot of EV haters. They hate the fact that this is the direction of the future. All I can say is either kill yourself or let it go. I mean, there's a window nearby. Defenestrate yourself, jump through it. But, there's nowhere to go. I mean, that's what it is. That's the future. That's the future. So just deal with it. So that's all I had to say. You can tell me what you think, in the comments.
To be continued.